That's it. We're back. I think I just pushed back, right? Work to game. I want chat. Let me. There we go. Should be live. Am I not live? It says I'm not live. Alright, might be live. I think I'm live. We will see. You guys let me know. I would think that it would show up right here. And I don't see me. Okay. Well, let's get started.
Yeah, Chris, you're live.
Okay. Cool. I don't know why it's not showing up. Like it should be right here. Videos. Live now. There it goes. Literally wasn't even getting notified of my own stream. Thank you, YouTube. They're like, well, we don't know if you really want to know. Okay. So the goal here is to get to 119. And then we'll shut off stream one last time. And then go to 120. I enjoyed a nice lunch break. My wife brought me, she went and had, we have a favorite little local Italian place, and she went and got that stuff to go last night. So I could eat that last night, and then she got me like a nice big healthy serving with like salads and sides and stuff. So I had the leftovers for lunch. It was very good. Gosh, they have like the best bread. So I had a little sausage and peppers with penne pasta. Watched one YouTube video while I ate, because I do love YouTube. And now I'm back at it. Just keep going. Just keep chugging, chugging, chugging. Lord Sliffin. He's like a, he's like a viper snake guy. Like the Anata with a cobra. Okay. Next. Looks like I've got a thing I can work on here. I don't know how many of these relics each guy drops. Oh, we got a priest helping us. He wants in on this action. Because as a priest, I'm sure it's nice to have a tank. I got my 20. Let's jump back over to this side of things. Looks like we got one more little thing to get here. I'm not sure how to get to it without pulling this stuff. Let's see. What if we just stun them and then grab it? Yeah! Get out of here. Oh no! They're slowing me down! No! We'll toss him. We'll jump into bear mode. Toss some frenzied regeneration on me. It's an incredible heal. And then we'll jump back into my little gazelle travel form. And run faster. Okay. And that should be the last mechanism. So now we've picked up all the parts to the mechanism that they need. So we're ready to return that to them. Pilfering and Fencing, There Is No Plan B, and Head of the Viper are all done. 3 quests complete.
What's the plan? How you doing?
Games have come so far in quest design. It's a pretty engaging leveling experience, as leveling experiences go. I think WoW does a pretty good job of it. 14's gotten better with every expansion too, so I expect them to come a long way. 5.0 should be a fun leveling experience. Okay.
So why not get rid of a few of those Naga at the same time? Whoa, watch out! They've got cannons firing in opposition! Take them out with some cluster shots! Giant! Incoming! Hey! That's the guy that wrecked our ship! Time for some payback! I've got just the thing to deal with them! Let them have it!
Okay, cool. That was a neat little quest. 281. Wow. And there goes my last legendary. I was still wearing it for the stats, even though the effects were no longer active.
You can ride my rocket back to your base. It's a one-way trip, though, so don't fire it up until you're all set to go.
Okay. Nice little rocket ride. Boom. It was very fast. Okay.
Ah, you have returned. You were gone longer than expected. Any trouble?
And we're back at the previous quest node. We've been here before. I assume that means we're wrapping the zone up. I finished the other zone. I had 50% of the items and everything according to my all the things add-on. I had 50% of the zone completed. Obviously the easy 50%. And I'm at 42 right now. So assuming that I'm supposed to finish at about the same point, I'm kind of in the home stretch here, 8%. I am 118, and I don't want to do the final zone without Zach if I can avoid it. So since he plans on playing, I think tonight, assuming we can keep linking up our schedules like we've been, I have a lot of fun leveling with him. He's a friend I've done a lot of World of Warcraft with over the years, so I prefer to keep doing that with him. So I'll probably jump into my War Mode campaign next, and that should push me the rest of the way to 120, and then I can focus on all my professions and stuff like that. I'd love to cap probably mining first, because I'd like to focus on fishing sometime after 8:30 p.m. So anytime I level fishing, I'd like it to be after 8:30 p.m. There's a special fish that spawns only at night, in addition to normal fish on the loot table, and it's needed for some of the fishing items that people are going to be using for early progression starting next week. So on the first rounds of mythics and stuff, as we prep for the first raid tier. So I would like to be able to take part in that market, because I have a feeling that those fish are going to be very, very expensive. So either I'll be the one to cook them, or I'll sell them, whichever is more profitable. I don't care. Because I'd also like to level up cooking, so that I have the option to be the cook when that's profitable, and then sometimes literally things are sold less expensive than what all the mats individually add up for, because somebody's trying to level up their skill. So if that's happening, then I'd like to just sell the mats. It's going to take some time to get to level 3 on the recipes, because that's part of what drives that price. Level 3 makes doing a recipe enough times levels you up in that recipe, and as you get better at that recipe, you get more efficient with the ingredients, and so it costs you less ingredients to get more stuff. So you can see how that would obviously drive the price. If I know that every time I make it at such and such price, and that price is cheaper than you, then I'm going to use that to cut you out of the market. There we go. What's going on, Zelda? RIP Final Fantasy 14? No, it's just
hey guys,
in
I'm
between
back.
436 and 44. Welcome back. We're just in between. And the grind in Pagos is very
14.
real.
Hold on.
No, but I am streaming a lot of WoW right now. 10 streams in 24 hours.
Get that stream on.
I broke it into 10 parts, just because it kind of built in nice breaks for me. And kept the streams at a reasonable length.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're here. And then Chris is just like dragging. Like, no, we got it. We got
It's worked
it.
very well. It's kept me nice and upbeat. Careful not to pull that reanimated monstrosity.
But I would say this though, Chris. Like this is going back to the whole thing with like how they released like Pagos. This goes back to the conversation we were having for the last few weeks about how they, they expanded the patches. I really feel like Pagos, because of how long the grind was. Because I was grinding, like, I mean, I just hit 34, which is practically the cap. You get the full credit for everything, so you're there, right?
Sure.
It took me 8 days. And that's, grinding to, like, your kind of schedule. A couple of hours.
Get that grind to Chris's schedule. Get it on lockdown.
Yeah, so like grinding out a couple of hours here and there, chaining the mob.
Yeah.
I feel like the way it is, it draws you into 14 if you like that kind of grind. But with BFA having launched basically a week later, like I think they should have like had the grind over with already before BFA could even think about launching. So it should have been back in 4.35, like a month ago, when they released it.
It's an interesting idea. Yeah, I don't know why they pushed Eureka to 4.36.
And I think it comes down to the whole thing of not wanting content to be, if they had released Eureka at 4.45 or 3.5, what came out at the same time? If it had come out at 4.35, Heaven on High. And the Eureka weapon is better than the Heaven on High weapon.
Yeah.
So that's why
this
I
does
think
give people, like, there's technically not a reason to take a break right now, because for the average person, there's a very good chance that sitting in Pagos all the way until 4.4 would be enough content. Assuming that they're willing to play all forms of content, whether or not they like it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that it kind of incentivizes you, like you were saying with WoW, and WoW does it right in some ways. Like when they release it, like you said, like a month from now they're releasing raids.
Yeah, there will be content between now and then that preps you, and there will be challenging content between now and then. Because keep in mind, WoW has challenging 5-mans, so WoW doesn't just do.
Yeah, because when does the Mythic Plus system get
So your Mythic Zeros release on Tuesday, and then you get to start adding levels. I think September 4th. So they'll give people a chance to see Mythic with kind of modifiers and the dungeons slated for gear, but you won't be able to start pushing up the scale because they want to give everybody a chance to catch up a little. Like they don't.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the top end people start to just get outrageously ahead.
But my point was like that WoW releases all that content all at one point, and then you got all this content for what are the average patch times between, like, this would be patch 8.0?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for a while.
So between 8.0 and 8.1. Like, how long would it? About 4 months. So you have all that content for 4 months. You could eat up all that content in a month and then not sub.
Now, the 8.0 series has other things in it. Like, there's going to be, like, an 8.05, and there's going to be... So there are other...
Yeah,
there's content between now and then. It's very similar. Just like we're at 4.36 right now, right? So, like, it's not like you can come in at 4.3 and then beat all this. You're playing content that's between 4.3 and 4.4. So, yeah, we'll be a ways out.
It incentivizes you to stay subbed, so... And that's one thing. So spreading out content incentivizes subbing. So like if they released a new piece of content every month and said, oh yeah, we're coming out with this next month. Okay, there's
Yeah,
my
instead of
$15
just
a
God of
month.
War, where everybody plays it 100 hours the first week and then never touches it again.
Yeah. So there's my $15 a month for next month. I gotta be able to use that, do that content.
Or you go and you make gold and you never pay another dollar for the game again.
Well, I'm saying like with 14 you can't do that. I wish you could, but yeah.
Dude,
How much do you think it would go for?
It would start off, the market would be insane. But it would be so cool. I would totally like, that's where it's like, yeah, I'm totally crafting. I'm totally like, I only craft to do all that stuff just so I can do my own repairs. That's,
yeah, I could.
But that would be so cool because all of a sudden it's like, so you get the, here's my ideal breakdown. You get it, you tie it in with Krista. You can use Krista to pay for your sub, or you could go shopping on the Square Enix market board and then other Square Enix games and properties. You know, they're, I think, the only platform that has that because they have these other games. So that, like, you tie it in, it's like, you know, boom, all of a sudden.
Well, does it too?
You know, imagine if you got Dragon Quest X and it's like all of a sudden you can pay for your subscription to Dragon Quest X that way. You know, it doesn't matter. It's like, play these games. Just
a lot of
enjoy
people bought
time.
Diablo 2 with WoW Gold, and that may or may not have made them feel worse when they stopped playing Destiny 2. I mean, Destiny 2.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like I would say like if they come out with the system, I would definitely see like, I would think like to start off, and this is me thinking from the development standpoint, if they wanted a guild sync, and they wanted to steady the economy, because the devs have this power where they can give themselves unlimited gold, unlimited gift, where they can't run out of guild, and they go to the market and they just buy up anything that's too high. Like they feel like the price of that item. Well, I'm saying like for like if they had a token system where you could pay, because see, like when it first starts out.
So the way the system works in WoW is it's one in, one out. So like there's not a page of tokens listed, all at different prices. There's just a token price.
Oh, so it's does the community set the price, or does like
the community sets the price, but it's set as a whole. It's supply demand. You don't type in the price you want to sell your token for.
And
it's perfectly in sync. It is fluid. Yeah,
which is great because the more demand, prices go up. You know, less demand.
So every time somebody buys a token on online, it affects the price.
Okay, see, that's the one thing I would be worried about. Like if you could put the token up on the market board, like in 14, like if they had the token, people would be saying, "Oh yeah, this token's worth 15 million gil."
Okay.
Or even
and so somebody who wants, you know, their game time and has the money would then buy it and pay for their sub with the token.
Yeah, but the people that would be really incentivized to play the game, you know, using the token system, would be they would see like, how do I make 15 million gil a month?
Yeah.
Or every other month, and your subscription's half the price.
Yeah.
Right? Because now 6 months out of the year you're on tokens.
But then you have a player who's coming in and it's like there's just I feel like there's just all these roadblocks.
So if I have an automatic refresher on my credit card and then I add time, it just pushes out my next billing. Because it just says you have this much time already paid right now. Just like if somebody gave me a gift card for Christmas, like I can add that to my account and it'll just push out my next billing.
The players are coming in, they feel like they need the gil or the gold, and so they go to a third vendor, and then essentially you're breaking terms of service, you're doing all this stuff. It still happens. Like the reason why you see people advertise is because people are buying. You wouldn't see people advertise if nobody was buying that kind of concept, but WoW single-handedly has pretty much destroyed that market. And why not just make it legit? And so then, oh, you want 15 million? Well, you pay for my sub for a month. Well, deal. You know, cool. I'll take. You know, maybe I'll take that because I want to be able to do this, this, and this.
And
you know,
be the middleman and have the auction house pull out its cut and things like that, and cut out all the emails about, oh, I got scammed and I didn't know, and it just no TOS violations. Just remove the whole mess.
Yeah, and that's where I'd see the because like I would personally do that kind of system. Like I would go and pay for, like if I could, I'd go to the MOG station, which is what we'd be going to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And say, okay, yeah, I want to buy a $15 token.
Yeah.
And then I go, how much is this worth? On in-game, before I bought it, see how much it's worth. And people go, oh yeah, this is worth 15 million.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sweet, thanks. I needed that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I think that's where it'll be interesting to see if in 5.0 they bring in the MOG shop in the in-game. The fact that you have to go to a website outside of the game to purchase stuff for the game is old. I mean, it's the fact that we got a game shop. It's like that came, I think, with 3.0. So then we like, okay, here's the new stuff. What did you say?
It's been in the game since I started. I mean,
I don't think the MOG station has been in, but the actual like cash shop was announced when Heaven's Word was announced. And I remember Fusion sitting right next to me going, "Boo!"
maybe
he was not a fan of that idea.
I think it's great.
It could have come in. They might have
great
introduced it before.
So there's two groups of people that play a game. There's people that play a game because it's an incredible amount of entertainment for a very low cost, and they have no. So you have a group of players who they play rather than go and do more expensive things, and then you have a group of players that have money. Maybe they work a stressful job or whatever, and they play games to kind of escape all that mess. Because I've never, at any point in my life so far, been able to strike a balance between how much money I make and how much time I have. I have always made more money than I have time to deal with right now, so I can't do anything. People are like, oh, you could pay for vacation. Yeah, I could.
If I could take a vacation.
When am I going to take vacation? And then the moment that job is over, you're like, oh, now's your chance to take vacations. No, immediately you're in saving mode, and you're like, oh, God, I'm not making that much money anymore. And so, like, you have these two sets of players, right? You have players that are in between these two stages of life, and they're bouncing back and forth. So you have, like, students, and you have young professionals who aren't married and don't have student loans, and so money's not the issue. And you're saying, why don't we take the group that has the money but doesn't have the time to farm their own gil, and the group that has gil but struggles to pay their sub, and just connect them, and just let the rich players in real life pay for the subs of the rich players in game. Like, it's just that easy. Rich being like $15 to spare versus rich being like fake currency to spare. So I mean, it's all relative. So I think it's great. I think it's awesome, and I think cash shops. It's awesome.
And imagine with the token system itself, like with Gil or whatever. Imagine if that, like, because like you have that premium currency Krista. Imagine being able to use that to buy your dyes and all your other little things. Like you could literally turn gold. Yeah, you could turn Gil into. What's up? What's up, Sparta?
Like your minions.
Yeah, like all these little things, like extra amounts. Like you could go and say, I can make enough Gil. I can supply it into the market economy. For this, what I would just call, instead of token, I would say you buy it for Krista, and then that Krista can then be used anywhere within the Square Enix ecosystem. I think I'm wondering if that was maybe a part of the original plan back in the day, because it's like they were like, oh yeah, Krista, and it's like I bought 6 months worth of subscription time, and I still have like 200 Krista sitting on my account that I can't use for anything. So it just sits there. It'd be nice if there was something that came out that I could use it on.
Yeah, but I see. I kind of I was always confused by the system. Like, who sets the price? Like, so
the market.
So the market, like,
and there is no GM with unlimited money. It is all tied. It is all based in real currency. So you don't have inflation. You don't have hyperinflation happening. You don't have devaluation happening. It doesn't affect the end game. It is literally just, I have $15, you have 15 million gil, and the market says this is a fair price. Let's shake hands, and to cut out anybody screwing anybody, Square Enix will go ahead and credit the $15 you want to pay straight to my account. I don't have to see your credit card information. I don't have to know who you are, any of that. And then they will just take the 15 million gil and transfer it. They will just totally handle it so you can feel safe, and it's anonymous. Because that's the fear, right? Like, that's the nervousness with things like Craigslist and all that. It's like, well, what if
Oh
something
yeah, I
happens?
don't.
But nothing does happen because it's all taken care of.
Yeah, see that because like I was thinking like people go on like the market and they set the price that they think is fair, and then come to find out it's not as fair as you all think it is. Because I mean, it could take
it fluctuates. It'll fluctuate wildly for the first 6 months. People will think it's too high, so they'll buy tokens with the plan on turning them back. Turning them back in later. Because when you buy the token off the auction house, it becomes a thing in your inventory, and you can either sell it on the auction house or you can apply it to your account. And so, I mean, there are people who sit on tokens because they think that the tokens are going to go up in value, and there are people who sit on cash on their account because they think the tokens are going to go down in value. I mean,
it's speculation. It's market. It's that's what currencies and markets are about.
You're welcome to play that market. WoW does not care. Because the money is being earned legitimately by people playing the game, and the cash is being deposited by real cash. So they honestly have no interest in who gets the gold. They don't care. I don't care. We have players with gold. We have people who want to give us money. Great. You guys work it out. WoW does not care if some players are broke and some players are loaded.
Sorry, I was reading. This was back in, I think it was all the way back in the realm we born. A guy said he spent like he even kind of did it non-anonymously. He did it anonymous, but not anonymous. He said he spent like $2,000 to buy Gil in 14.
How much?
And yeah, I mean it was a harsh thing. Come to find out that after he spent that, and this is when I started the story, if I remember correctly, because this was 4 years ago. His card, he started getting like these weird transactions on his card.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
That's why I don't want to deal with them. I just wish they would be able to, like, if you, not just the guild settle, like, they really and truly, people don't realize it's about, like, server systems. Like, they can track your IP that logs into the server.
Yeah, they can do it, but still people do it. And it's why...
And that's why I'm thinking, like, you track the IP that's logging into the server, and it gets reported that IP was doing guilding stuff, like, do a 3-strike policy. If, like, your IP does just block the IP entirely. Like, they can buy the game all day long, and they can never enter the game.
But why not just implement a system that defeats all of that once and for all?
Yeah, why try to fight?
What you're talking about has been done, is done, as and these games have existed for a long time, and somebody came up with a solution that solves the problem, and that solution you're proposing is what is currently being done, and it doesn't fix the problem. The problem still persists.
Well,
so
see, what they're doing is they're not blocking the IPs. They're blocking.
Well, I can change my IP.
And you can get a VPN, and you can.
Yeah, there's 1,000. It's dirt cheap to hide my IP. If like I have a reason to hide it. What's going on, Raven and Corey?
Hey, Corey. Hey, Raven. What are your thoughts on the WoW token? That's what we're talking about right now. Essentially, the ability to pay for your sub with in-game currency.
Do you think that Final Fantasy should have the ability to turn Gil into subscription time and people to be able to pay Square Enix for the Gil that is gained by that system? So you put the $15 for somebody else's sub in, and you get the amount of money they were willing to pay to have their sub paid for them.
Yeah, because I've heard about some people, like, you know about players that are at the cap of gold in WoW. Like,
EVE Online has had a token system in it for 10 years. Like, WoW is not the first one. And there might have been some before EVE Online, but as long as when I played EVE Online, that system was already in place. So yes, I do know players at cap. Yes. I know players that sit on 50 and 60 million gold. So they sit on cap on multiple characters, because cap is 10 million. There are plenty of people out there with 50 and 60 million gold. typically the community refers to them as what's called goblins, and they don't play the game to play the game, they play the game to make money. So they're not going to give you money, because that's literally all they play for, which is fine. Like, I'm just saying, like, it was like, oh, well, then why don't you just ask them for money? No, no, like, that's, they don't progress. They only level up for the sake of, like, making money. I have to go stand in this shield if I want to live, huh?
Come with me if you want to live.
That's his...
Yeah, but this is the thing, Corey. If they implemented that system of the token, the guild sellers would lose the market. I mean, it would come. The market would die like instantly.
As long as the price was right.
Yeah.
Like if you're sitting here and say it's $1,000 and this happens, the market will still persist. You got to make it to where there's no financial, like you're
So there are
losing
still
money by
websites that sell WoW Gold, but they have to sell it so cheap because you have to risk your account, you have to risk your credit card information, you have to risk all this stuff, and I can already get 200,000 gold for $15 right now. And I can do it over and over and over. If I hand them $150, I get 200,000 times 10. I get 2 million gold, just like that. So, like, to make me want to risk, you would have to offer me such an incredible deal. So I'm not saying there aren't still. It takes the top 2/3 of that industry right off the top. Whoa! Epic upgrade.
Epic upgrade.
296. I almost slept on this stuff. There we go. Awesome. 296. That is huge. I almost have an i300. Was that my weapon too? Oh, what a great item to get my first legendary upgrade for the expansion on.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm looking at like
that's
currently
awesome.
right now. I just went onto a website for it, like M14 the money.
Mm-hmm.
For $15, $15.42. So that's 1 month of sub.
Uh-huh.
If I went to this website, they would only give me 9,000K deal.
9 million gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I
that's a
think
lot.
people would gladly pay that. And so then all of a
But
sudden,
there are
for that
people, yeah.
website, for that website to continue to make money, they would have to offer 18, 20, 25, which then means that their labor has to be willing to work for 1/3 of the rate that it's been working lately, which means that the vast majority of the labor in that industry just gives up.
So if they went up to 20, so if they offered the same price, and they offered us 20K, so 20 million gil, the price, they would be losing out if they go by the same rate. They'd be losing out on $15.
Yeah.
Which
Means that if that person's working for $15 an hour and they can farm that per hour, they're now working for $7.50 an hour. Oh, this is cool. We put a robot on a raft and we're gonna shoot stuff.
That's the only problem I do see is the housing. Like housing would need to be fixed instantly. If they don't, that's
The market, has to be. There's definitely things in the market they need to do.
yeah. Instant housing would be nice. Like maybe take the apartments and make the apartments.
I think too many things are market prohibited.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if somebody wants to buy dungeon loot, let them buy dungeon loot. Stop making all this stuff market prohibited. Just let them sell it. That way a decent market and stuff can have a chance at forming.
To thrive.
Mm-hmm. Decent can't function because right now you have to farm your own stuff. Doesn't make any sense.
and then what you do is you make crafters able to enhance all that gear that drops.
Yep.
And then they can even limit it so that the current expansion doesn't.
And you
isn't
create
tradable,
decent
but then-
gear or decent progression of some kind, so then you have people who specialize in further specializing decent thing. I don't know what we're doing. I think we're just killing stuff. Oh, it's just sail down river. I don't have to actually kill anything. They just have it killing like as a mini game that's fun. Yeah, I don't have a health.
The only thing that I could see, and this is again, it comes down to the skill
Shield
seller
to
market. The only thing that could make them money in that market
Stealing.
are Things like power level. But
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be if people are willing to pay, there's going to be a market. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad.
But the guild selling itself, it needs to. They need to find a way to shut these things down, get it gone from the game, and that's the easiest way I could see it, happening, is with a token system where either you get guild, like if you pay them money, they'll give you guild, or you can pay for your sub if you pay for guild.
I like the market perspective of it, because then it's like you're not inserting gil into the economy. You're just moving gil that's already in the economy. So it's not like, oh, you pay this and now it's like we've inserted a $15 billion gil, and then it's like then you have rapid inflation, and then players feel like they have to pay to be able to compete in the market, or all of a sudden like, hey, that piece of gear that used to be $1 million is now 15 million because everybody's spending all this money. And sure, for the short term, it would make Square Enix a lot of money. Long term is they should just take their broker cut, and then it just shifts from somebody who's willing and has already made the money and is just sitting on the money, and that money sitting in somebody's account, sitting on a player, does nothing any good. Currency is meant to be fluid. It's meant to be moving. When it's sitting there,
it has value when it's moving.
Right.
If you build up $1 million and put it under your mattress, it does nothing for you, and it does nothing for the economy.
Nothing
it is
happens.
only valuable when it is moving, because it is the exchange of goods and services. It is meant to facilitate trade. So if we stop trading with money, it has no value.
Well, actually, Zelda, I will dispute one thing. Selling, like going to Amazon or Walmart or Newegg, those are protected under the FDIC, the Federal Trade Commission, and all that. But guild sellers, so like if they like Walmart and stuff, if they take your credit card and sell it to someone else, they get into some really hot water. But these guild sellers, they don't have to handle those controls.
Well, they're also probably run offshore. I mean, if you're gonna run a profitable business like this, you're gonna try to find the cheapest labor possible, because you don't need high skill labor to play a game.
Thanks, Brian.
I don't think endurance is a skill, Chris.
Nobody else can run their gazelle like this, their little deer or antelope thing. It has a saddle that pops on it, and people can ride me. I act as a mount. Alright, that was a long speech. Let's do it. Next.
Hero, follow me. Everyone else, join Rokon at the northern line. Move
We're
out.
at 42. Man, this has been a lot of talking and not very much experience lately. There we go. I think a lot of people make a lot of guild. The question is why? Like, what do you do with it? Just to have it? Like, I'm way more intrigued to make money in this game now that I know I can pay my sub with it. Not because, like, I don't have $15, but just, like, the concept that I'm playing the game so well that I'm effectively playing for free. Like, that, it's a very achievable goal, and, like, it would feel good just to know, you know? Like, it just, I don't know, it just seems like it would feel good to know that my game's paid for. It's about the concept. Okay. So we're supposed to destroy these totems.
I think the main reason why they're not as proactive anymore, Immoral, is that they tried to be proactive, but the problem was, like, even right now, like, they're not as heavy anymore. You don't see them in shouts, you don't see them in set, they don't do tells. I
hear you just have to go to Lemza and Balmung if you want to find them.
Yeah, I mean, no, you don't
go to the places where they work. Like, if if Sargatanas doesn't buy gold from guild sellers, you won't see guild sellers on Sargatanas.
Yeah, exactly. So like, and they're only in certain zones, and not a lot of people are in those zones anymore, except for the new players. Like we saying, Linza, Odar, the starting cities, the main 3 starting cities, and these new players
that want money. Right? They want gil, right? Like that's why they're doing it.
Want it. But they don't realize that if they go into these third parties, like they don't. I think we're all guilty of it. And if you're not, you can chime in the chat. Who reads the terms of service? Actually sits and reads the entire terms of service, which for most MMOs is like 7 pages long, fine print.
Is it authentic?
Exactly. No one reads the terms of service, so they don't realize. Oh yeah, if I go to a third-party site and buy guild, and I get caught doing it, even if I've spent $300, $400, it's an automatic ban.
Keep it real. Yo.
Whoa. 277, where'd you come from? Swap that out. Barricade right here. Artillery strike inbound.
Whoa. You got your hide from the blood god. Big hearted coming.
I'm out of range.
Okay.
The rest of these fellas be all yours. Have fun. But don't forget, you still be paying me a debt. Send me their souls.
So we can heal these last few soldiers before we get down further, because it looks like the enemies are getting denser, not less dense. Okay. Heal that guy. Get my loot. See one over here that I can sneak in and heal for number 4. Call in the next artillery strike, and then
Good.
heal that last one.
Now all that remains is to clean out the vermin.
Okay. Oh, cleared that. Nice.
I fight to protect those who cannot protect themselves. May your vestments be adorned with the Come, we may have an opportunity to end this once and for all.
Man, the zone could get me to 119. That's so exciting. I'm really close to finishing the zone. We're at 7 of 8 chapters.
Nice.
Times change.
I'm
and
ready.
So, Martina, your threat to my people ends here.
Alright.
Such a brave little princess. Gonna be fun shutting that royal mouth of yours.
Oh man, she's talking some trash. Shut that royal mouth of yours.
Don't you know who I am?
I'm the Juggernaut.
Living in comfort and luxury, safe from
Oh,
hunger
little
and
mop.
death. Your people be soft, princess.
The Zandalari have the finest navy in the world. We have proven our
Yeah, I don't have any interest in a house. I actually have enough cash right now to buy one of the remaining small houses available on my server. I just don't have any interest in owning a house right now. I'd rather have the cash. I mean, I guess if Square was like, hey, we did a raffle because we want all the houses taken, and your name came up, and you're gonna get a free house, then I would take it. But I don't know. If 3 months later they said, "Hey, you haven't been checking that house often enough, we're gonna take it away." Okay. I didn't really plan on engaging with it in the first place.
The awakening ritual will be completed.
I understand why people want houses. I just don't fall into that category.
I think if they make gardening available within your apartment, you solve a lot of the housing crisis.
I think it's funny that people lean on the gardening thing so much when you can run around our entire ward, and I have yet to see a garden planted in the last 2 or 3 months. Not one. On stream, somebody's like, well, everybody uses it for gardening. And so I was like, well, let's just go check 10 houses right now. And we went 10 for 10. Not a single garden had anything in it. So, that was not pre-planned. I did not go check those beforehand. I just picked houses at random. 10 for 10. No gardening. Oh yeah! Cutscene! Oh, here comes our big robot. This is the 3rd time we've seen this robot. Fire at will. I love goblin engineering.
You mean your armoire system? The armoire system is in the housing, but the glamour dresser isn't.
Right.
That's the only problem I have. If the glamour dresser, that means, because like right now, that's the only problem I have with the glamour system. Like the dresser, is that if I want to go to a dresser, I have to go
to an in room,
city states, or I have to go to Ishtar.
I think what we'll see, hopefully what we're going to see at some point is the inclusion of that as just as a furniture piece.
Alright, Big Frog. Do I get to be you again?
Is the Big Frog back?
Yeah, Big Frog's back.
Sweet.
Krogwa the Huge.
Is that his name?
Yeah, like Fogwa, or like the however they say it, where they
yeah.
make the frog legs. His name is Krogwa.
Very nice.
I'm ready to go. Oh, I get to be the frog. Oh yes. Big jump. Oh, smash that bridge.
Yeah, that's kind of the one jarring thing about 14's cutscene, is that some are voice acted and some aren't. It's like same thing with the bosses.
Everything is voice acted here.
The trials are voiced, but the raid isn't. Like, okay.
Even the quests are voice acted here.
Yeah, like as you do the quest and it runs through, yeah.
Yeah, it's like talking to you while you're like killing stuff.
Yeah. I think that again it comes down to
language.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, how long would it take to do that? I think it'd take a long time.
How many
languages? I wouldn't be shocked to see them make a push and be like, oh, like in Japanese market we're going to be totally voice acted. All right, that doesn't help us.
Yeah. How many languages does WoW like support?
Oh, a ton. I don't know.
I'm saying like actual voice acting.
I don't know.
So yeah, that'd be the I do have to agree. That'd be one of the major problems is like how many voices, how many like that would be like 7 voice actors per character.
Yeah.
In 14.
Big Frog is a mount. Yeah, the Big Frog is a mount. Well, you can get it as a mount. It's not that big, but there is that model is available as a mount. Yes. Actually, everything we've been riding has been available as a mount. The little bug things yesterday. I mean, there's 600 or 700 mounts in this game available, so they're pretty good about saying if we're going to take the time to make a model, then we're going to go ahead and make it mountable.
Everything's a mount. You get a mount, you get a mount.
It's awesome because when you're in town, like there's just a billion different mounts. Like you don't see the same mount twice.
Yeah,
if you want money for a house, the question is just set reasonable small goals. I want to make, I want to make 10,000 gold a day, or 10,000 gil a day. Okay, like that's not that much. Go out there, gather, list things, list at least 10,000 gil a day on the market. Just a fresh 10,000 gil a day. And just do that every day. You'll be making 70,000 gil a week. You'll have 1 million gil in no time. Oh no. Oh no. Ouch. We'll go around the other way. That guy like totally knocked me back. Yeah, that's right. You have your dangerous path, and then you didn't guard the other path. I'll take you, grandmother.
Scream for mercy.
I will not scream for mercy.
That's one thing I wish. I wish I could read Japanese, Raven.
Heyo. Ah, cutscene.
The shield, it has begun to bend.
What is shooting across the screen? I don't know what that is. Looks like a
Okay, this
witch on
is
a
a
broomstick.
rough estimate going off the list on the Wikipedia site for just Battle for Azeroth.
I don't know
There are
what's happening.
225 voice actors.
Wow.
I'm so confused by this cutscene.
But that's rough estimates because I didn't go and count each
just
and
happened?
single one of them.
What's happening?
I think I was in bear form, so I was too low on the camera angle.
Forever.
So that witch is just flying over your head?
That's what it looked like. I would rather the chest if it'll upgrade.
May your vestments be adorned with
Oh, I got an achievement. The Dark Heart of Nazmir. Oh, the pants upgraded. Okay. The chest did not. Okay.
What you got, boss? Don't be getting mixed up with
I
the
will not
voodoo.
forget all that the
Come back
Horde
if you
has
need me
done
help.
for my people. Without you, none of
for
you
the
must
dark
inform
spear.
my father what has transpired.
Great. That happened to another YouTuber as well? Okay.
We've been
Well, maybe it's a weird
expecting
cutscene.
Ezreal to help us in the fight, but he ran off to do his own thing. What that construct be up to?
I've been disenchanting
yeah,
him
definitely.
to turn him into enchanting mats.
What be doing down here?
I should probably be at least
I
selling the
think-
weapons, because the weapons are so much more valuable
Things that
than
not seem right in Nazmir.
they disenchant for, but like a lot of this stuff disenchants fairly high. Like these legs are gonna disenchant into 2 gloom dust, statistically. So I should just disenchant them. Oh, 4 gloom dust, so I just made a ton of money there. 6 gloom dust. At 17 gold apiece, if this turns into 2 gloom dust, I made money. 5 gloom dust. So like I'm making money doing this. Increases swim speed by 15%? How cool is that? That's
That's
neat
pretty cool.
ring. Yeah. I mean, it's a crappy eye level, and I have increased swim speed as a druid anyway, but it's a neat effect that doesn't like break the game or anything. Yeah, and then those shards are worth 140 gold right now. So like this thing here sells for 86 to the vendor. Let's disenchant 2 of the shards. So I'm making way more money disenchanting this stuff. Yeah, crafting.
Yeah, like my Omni crafting is just like I get them at 60, and then I just don't ever worry about it. And then the expansion comes out, and then I'll level them to the 10 levels below the expansion. I'm all just about the self repairs. But if Gil had value to me, then I think.
Can you imagine if somebody ran the math on how much money you spent leveling all those guys to 60, and then said how long that would pay your repair bill?
Sorry, if somebody you broke up on me a little bit.
So you take all the money you spent on leveling crafting. So it's the Prius argument, right? So I drive a Jeep Wrangler, And people tell me, like, well, I drive a Prius because it's better for gas mileage. But a Prius new, because the guy who was telling me this last bought his Prius new, paid over twice the price for... He paid over $20,000 more for his Prius than my Jeep is worth. So, he could have my exact Jeep in its current condition and have $20,000 to spare. Now, his fuel economy is twice mine. But I spend $40 to $80 a month in fuel. $40 to $80 a month, right? Let's assume it's $100 a month in gas, over $20,000.
Yeah.
Divided by is 200 months. 200 months divided by 12 months a year is 17 years of gasoline. Who's going to be driving their current car for 17 years? And that's the break-even point. And that's assuming that the Prius runs on 0 gas and that my Jeep runs on the regular amount of gas. Actually, more than my regular amount of gas.
Yeah, I think the math shows that there's rarely any value. Like, you're not going to recoup the money in upgrading your car.
It's that status symbol. It's oh yeah, I got
a Prius?
Well, I'm saying
it's an environmental choice. Like you want.
Yeah.
I guess.
But like me,
I love my Jeep.
Before it fell out, because it's been broke down for 4 years now. My dad and we were driving around in a 1989 Nissan by Datsun. Datsun by Nissan.
Nice.
81. So the first year that Nissan owned the Datsun brand. That's at the current date, it would be a almost 40-year-old truck. Still ran fine.
Yep.
Ran it till it couldn't run no more. It's just like, so yeah, buying the new cars, unless your car is about to break down, why buy the new cars?
We've been told our AC system was going to die this year, 3 years in a row now, so my experience is just let it die. Because they're like, oh, you gotta buy one, you gotta buy one. Alright, we'll call you back.
Yeah, that's what happened. We had an AC unit.
It's 3 years.
We had it somewhere.
3 years that we would have had another system, and a system ages after 10, so we'd be a third of the life into our next system. With this one sitting in a landfill.
Or a scrapyard, because it's metal.
Alright, Alpine Fox. Finish him off. Finish off the young sand sifter.
But yeah, don't just go buy the brand new thing, the shiny thing. Keep the thing you have.
So, like, that's how
thank you.
So like I just the crafting, like the need for Gil in Final Fantasy, that's how I feel about it. Like I just don't see a real need. Leveling your crafter so you can do repairs is a nice perk. If that's the only reason you're doing it and you don't like
it's not worth it.
You don't like having the cost it's going to cost you, the amount of time it's going to take to level your crafters to 60, just save your money. Repairs don't break you. They should make repairs 10 times as expensive in Final Fantasy and in WoW. Repairs should break you. It should be expensive to play. Constant money sink. Either that or gear should literally break. After a certain number of repairs, you should just have to replace it. You know, your Savage gear can be repaired 500 times, and then it goes. And if you die 500 times before the next content patch, you have to go back and farm it up again. If you're trying to create a balanced economy. If you're not, then don't worry about it. So the way it currently works now, so WoW's been out a long time, so they can look at historic economic data, and WoW allows add-ons, so WoW can track economic data. So WoW has 8 to 11% inflation every month, and Final Fantasy's is probably similar. Which means that your money effectively becomes worth, if you just sit on your cash, it is worth half as much every year and a half, which is more often than once per expansion, that money literally is half in value. Now that's not to say every item in the game is adjusted by that, because like a Realm Reborn item was worth more in a Realm Reborn than it's worth now, unless it has a current reason for use, like Glamour. But it does mean that like buying what was current gear then and buying what is current gear now, it costs more money now, because in theory everybody has more money now.
Well, it's not just the time. It's also like, and I do agree that time is important, because like when you're in raiding, let's say you've gone through like a raid session, and a lockout for like a Savage raid is like an hour, and you've wiped 5 or 6 times. You know, you're still learning the fight.
Mm-hmm.
After about the 7th wipe, your gear is going to break. So instead of having to leave the instance, go and hit repair, and get back in the instance to start it all over again, only be in there for another 7 wipes, you can be constantly learning more. So you can get a full hour of learning.
Alright. I'm gonna head up and do this last quest, and then I think we're done with this zone. Cool. And then it'll be time to go to Argamar and turn off war mode. It's been fun.
I'm interested in war mode.
I could leave it on for now. We'll leave it on until it kills me a few times. And we'll shut it off.
Oh, you're in war mode right now?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
You 120?
No.
He's getting there. He's 119, right? Or you're going
118. 118. 4 bars out from 119. 20%. 80% of the way there. What do you gain from all the time you save from not running in the melter and clicking repair all? Yeah, it's not a huge gain. It's cool. I mean, it's a game. The whole thing is a time sink, so where you spend it's up to you. But discussing it from an efficiency standpoint is intriguing.
And yeah, that is one thing people think like, oh, and I will say, like, when they give the crafting like Beast Tribe, like you have, so for 1 to 50 you have the Exali, from 50 to 60 you have Moogles, and from 60 to 70 you have anyone who's ever unlocked the Moogles. No way I shivered.
I'll put an asterisk next to that one. You might have Moogles. You might not. Though.
Yeah.
I'll commend you on your on holding back. I would have said much worse things.
You have 600 hours to grind to open it up.
Easily.
Oh yeah, like my repair mammoth here. So I have the repair mammoth here. Right here. I can vendor and I can repair right here. It's just a waste of money. Like, this is unnecessary. One person in a raid group needs this mount. Because if you can mount out in the raid, it's important that you have this. That's it. One person.
But yeah,
not everybody. Everybody in the raid has this, and many of them also have the Pandaria Yak.
And for Stormblood, you have the what's the one for Stormblood? We just got them like last patch.
Namazu?
Yeah, the Namazu. You have the Namazu for Stormblood, so 60 to 70. And they only cost crystals. Like I hope that from now on we're getting gathering and crafting beast tribes combined. Like that'll be I love that they added that for Stormblood.
Yeah, I would.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, gathering isn't too bad to level it. It's just grinding out. You know, it doesn't cost you anything. It's just go hit the node. But it costs one thing. It costs time. And some people don't have time. But getting a third of a level for 5 minutes of work, or even almost a full level for 5 minutes of work, that's a lot better.
It's a very big snake. That is one really big snake. Oh god, oh god, oh god. This might have been a group quest.
You can do it, Chris. You're a tank.
Yeah, I mean, I have another guy here helping me. Oh god, oh god. Okay, he's down, he's down. I had to pop a lot of cooldowns and I nearly died twice. Okay. That was the last quest in the zone. Last one is I have a dungeon. Do the Underrot. So I will queue for a specific dungeon. The Underrot. Find group. As a tank. Oh, it's ready. Amazing.
Do we need the tank or a healer? Always.
Oh, it is one big old danger noodle, man. It is one big old danger noodle. Alright.
The blood trolls are scattered, but we must find the source of the rot and destroy it. Guard yourselves. Who knows what lurks in these caves? The blood trolls are scattered, but we must find the source of the rot and destroy it. Guard yourselves. Who knows what lurks in these caves?
Come in.
Blood trolls are scattered, but we must find the
Hey,
source
gorgeous.
of
What's
the
up?
rot and destroy it.
Great success.
Guard yourselves. Who knows
I want to put this up because I made for Annie not to get my bedroom when I
Beautiful.
too. It's not a picture. It's for me.
Okay.
It's for this. It's not for you. You have to put it up just like this.
Okay, I'll put it up there. But I need you to close the door for a little bit, kiddo.
On my door.
I've got everything on there. Oh, there's a 120 in here with me. There's a 110 in here with me. The exact opposite. Somebody's brand new to the expansion, and somebody else is like done. That's funny. I love level sync. 120, 113. Okay. And on to the next boss. Oh god, oh god, oh god. That killed me so fast.
Whoa, welcome, Jade
Oh
Baller
my
42.
gosh.
So much for joining in
Welcome.
here on the workforce. You should have access to Discord now. If your YouTube is synced up to your Discord, you should see access to our Discord server. So be sure to let me know if you have any problems getting connected. If you have a good mic and you don't feel nervous in talking in front of people, you can always also join us live on stream. But if you live in a wind tunnel or you have a bad mic, we might ask you kindly to hang out with us when we're not streaming. It's up to you.
Yeah.
I wonder if does that get us the moats
Easy.
now? Can we get the Chris emote now?
Well, I don't know. We're coming up on it. It's been in the near future for a while now.
So members must be like
Lost.
sponsors.
Oh,
Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
They
So
changed
it's
the name.
yeah, and he's got the green thing now. Like his name shows up green, which is great.
Because I think they didn't like that sponsor sounded so much like a corporate
Yeah.
sponsorship. So it's like, oh, are you sponsored? And it's like that has a different connotation.
Yeah, and so they're looking at they've opened it up to 100,000, like the option, but they've opened it up for anybody who on YouTube who's over 100,000 to just have that. One second, I'll be right back. It's going to be interesting to see if they decide to really do more competition with the Twitch.
Am I losing something here? Yes, I am. I don't have something on me. It says it's facing me. No, that one's not facing me. Yeah, I need to adjust my raid frames to be a little more visually helpful with who I have and who I don't.
Yeah, Raven. We our Discord server is set to a private. All you have to do though is, if you want to join, you'll need to either subscribe to us on Twitch, become a member on YouTube, a $5 Patreon backing, any of that, and only one time.
Yeah, it's only like a one time. It's more of a troll gate than anything else. We always do appreciate the support. We want to also kind of reward those who supported us, you know, etc. But yeah, it works out well. Like I don't know. It's like I always kind of go back and forth. It's like, what's the best way to both give, you know, incentive, you know, for allowing us to do what we got to do, while at the same time protecting those who also support us. So you're not joining our Discord server and you're getting 1,000 messages from, you know, just people who are there just to try to scam you. Hey, what's up? Do you need help with your dress?
Okay, now we do this again. See if I remember this boss fight at all. Indigestion, he's gonna spray that. Squish the worm, squish the worm, squish the worm.
Can you close the door, please? And there's a free option, just to let you know, if you do have Amazon Prime, you can actually, you know, subscribe to us for free over on Twitch. So you just hit that, you know, Twitch sub, use your Amazon Prime, and then it will show up. It all happens automatically, whatever way you go.
Okay. No loot for me. Oh, somebody just leveled. I saw it go off. He's now 111. Congrats to him. WoW rating or 14 rating? Oh, I mean, I think that the rating's significantly better developed in WoW. 14 still doesn't know what it wants its rating identity to be. It's still doing things like dropping ultimate stuff. You know. Oh crap, those get nasty.
Also, I think the one thing, and I think you'd probably agree, if they implemented, like, if they wanted to go more to like WoW's kind of rating system, the 1 week rule would still apply, just like in WoW, but you have trading between your different characters. Like,
Trading between
No,
characters
there's
would
no
be
trading
nice.
between characters in WoW.
there isn't. I was always told you could like.
How do you do your banking?
There's account-wide items. Well, for weekly lockout stuff. Like bind on pick up raid drops, that's per character. So if you get a drop on your druid that you wish you had on your priest, tough luck.
Okay. See, I
So
was always
14's
told
more forgiving.
I was told something different.
Mm-mm.
So I guess,
Nope. Nope. There's bind on account items,
What manner of creature
but
is this?
raid drops are not in that category.
Must not be allowed.
Did they ever shift into that category, like for as the raids get
Nope.
put into the older content?
Nope. They do move to what's
Okay.
called legacy loot, but that's brand new. That just rolled out in 8.0.
It must not be allowed.
yeah, I just think that
Legacy
like,
loot's something totally different, and it's for the purpose of glamour.
and Chris, we and Brian were having this conversation. Like in 14, there's actually one reason, and this would go towards like if we were a rating like group, rating team, there'd be one reason to have. What was the count? 7 characters, Brian? I think it was 7. One for every single role. So like one character for tank, one for healer, one for melee DPS. Well, one for monk and samurai. I think share gear. One for each gear set, basically. So that like if you were a rating like group, you wouldn't need to go look for like tank gear, healer gear on one character, because it would take a lot longer to gear out, 15 jobs compared to gearing out only 3 jobs.
Is that the same model as Jorok the guy or whatever?
Surface, we will not be able to contain it.
Oh, for real. Pull that. I don't want to pull it.
I have never seen this form of corruption before. If this spreads to the surface, we will not be able to contain it.
Massive breach detected.
I have never seen this form of corruption before. If this spreads to the surface, we will not be able to contain it.
Containment failing. Mother not responding.
This thing has to die. Thank you. Man, that got nasty. Okay. Now we continue on. Don't pull the worms. Don't pull the worms. The key here is to pull as few worms as possible. Man, I feel like my gear is actually worse relative to my level now. Like, I feel like I'm taking more damage than I was when I was in here earlier. Granted, I had legendaries that were active before, and I really haven't replaced those with any BFA specialness. I've got my new, like, relic style whatever, but I think at 115 I felt really powerful because it was an overlap. I had both at the same time. Oh, crap. This has to die first. This has to die first. This must be stunned.
Just talking about the like syncing, the video you posted on our Discord, Brian, that about the video syncing, or like the quest syncing and all that.
Man, this is level 119. It's home stretch, man. Home stretch.
Planetary infection.
Yeah, that
Go here.
once you hit that
Bars.
last level, it's just like boom and done. Like it takes nothing to do that last level 9 times out of 10. True.
I mean, it's the easiest hour, but it's still gonna be just as long. Might even be 2 hours, but it's the most fun because like yeah, I'm not gonna stop.
He is putting in work T.
I'll do the I'll stop for my break to stretch and all that, but then I'm gonna come back and crank it out.
Specimen detected. Containment priority 1.
Like, what's the the level sync system? Is like if you go and do a the lowest level dungeon, does it give you the same amount of experience that like the highest level dungeon would give you?
So you can only queue for dungeons for your relevant expansion while you're leveling, unless you manually go there. So from an experience standpoint, I'm queuing for everything that's level 110 to 120 right now, is what I can queue for. Well, 110 to 119 or 118 is what I was allowed to queue for when I queued into this. And yes, I would get roughly the same amount of experience, but like it's not like I can run Sastasha or a Stormblood dungeon and get the same amount of experience. It's like, no, you can run any of the Stormblood expansion things. The difference is I'm in here with a guy that just hit 111, and I'm in here with let's pull this guy out of this stuff, this nastiness. And I'm in here with the guy that's
check out chat, baby.
Oh, we got the Chris emote and the Brian emote. Thanks to our newest member. That pushed us over the line.
Jay Bourne, man. Thank you, sir. You got us a new emote.
Pushed us over the line.
And it's all good, Azure. Thank you for... And not much tea. I just posted a video, which is fun. And I'm just sitting here building out a kind of a mapping
$295 for shoulders. Just got my new shoulder piece. Get your shoulders up. Alright. All these greens. So many. That means I can come in here and oh, now I have new Azurite traits because these shoulders are different. So they're powered by my necklace. So I will first get to choose increase haste every time I kill. I'm gonna decline. Thank you guys. I'm gonna leave. We finished our quest. My sister drew those.
Yeah.
Bark skin reduces melee attacks? No, we're doing this bad boy. Let's get some haste. Well, no enemies or shield. Shield. Hands down. Easy solution. And then would you like to increase this eye level by 5? Yes, I would. Done. And then as I find higher eye level, so when I mouse over this whatever this piece of gear is, basically when you get it, it tells you what levels your Azurite necklace has to be to power all 3 stages of it. So as I find higher eye level shoulders, it may ask for, I'm assuming it's going to ask for my necklace to be a higher Azurite power to power all 3 stages of the gear. So you should only have the highest eye level loot if you've been playing for a while and you've got the AP to support it, if you want to unlock the full power of that loot. Oh no, that would scare me shellless. Okay. Now I need a flight path. Here's a vendor real quick. Just go ahead and dump that. There should be a flight path. Here he is. And you're going to fly me back, and we're going to be done here. Oh, man, that's exciting. I may actually call the stream here, and we'll hit 119 and push into 120 all in one stream. That way it's one stream of war mode. Because my plan is to, or whatever they're calling that, campaign. War campaign? Is that what they're calling it?
I don't know. I don't know what they
War
call
campaign, yes. So I think I want to do my war campaign from 119 to 120. So the fact that we're so close to 119, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it when we get all this stuff turned in, even if I don't quite make it. And then we'll hit 119 and 120 in the same stream. So very, very cool. Because we're effectively at 119. We are very, very close.
Yeah, Gia, that House of the Dead went on a high. It gets old, like, really fast. Especially if you've been doing it for... I will admit, Heaven on High is a lot better, but even then,
yeah,
it gets old. Especially if you've been doing Palace of the Dead since Palace of the Dead first released all the way back two years ago.
Our Azurite power, our Heart of Azeroth has been upgraded to level 10. They say
thanks for hanging out, Raven.
you should be sometime between 110 and like 113. So we're right in that ballpark. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Let's see. We've been streaming a lot. New expansion.
New expansion.
We'll probably be doing the same thing come 5.0.
Well, 5.0, 4.4. I plan to do some streaming of Dragon Quest XI, depending on where we are with the baby. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm all set there. So now, I think it's time to go back to the Flight Master. And where should I be flying to? Where are you? You're all the way down there. Okay. So I will get myself on a flight path down to here to turn this in. We are going to go do my campaign. The plan is to stay in war mode at first to see if it's doable. If it's not, then I will go turn it off and we'll come back and do it. While that flight is taking place, I'm going to go ahead and go get my my quick break in. I should have had this water over the last hour, so the fact that there's water in here means I haven't been drinking enough.
You've been talking too much and not drinking enough.
So I'm going to go refill this and probably bring a second one. And stretch my legs for just a couple of minutes, and we're going to come back and hit 120. All in one more sitting. So I'll see you guys.
You should update your thumbnail so that it reflects that.
Just
the
a
final
second.
stretch.
The final stretch.